name is Mikołaj Buchwal, and today we will be going through an example I prepared some time ago in order to better know Nginx in a Dockerized environment. So usually I used Apache before, but for some use cases it's good, it's maybe better to use Nginx. And in this example we will be using a Docker container in which Nginx and Jupyter will be working on an Ubuntu system. So this example is available here at my account at GitLab, and what we have to do in order to run this example is to, of course, clone the repository first. So we can go, for example, here we can clone the repository, and here it is. So the files are available, and what do we got here? First we have a Docker file, and in this file, apart from some commands that help you to understand what is going on, there is information that we are using Ubuntu as a base image. Then we run some update and some installs, and here we use the Nginx configuration because we use Nginx as our proxy service. So what this thing will do is that it will listen to the port 80 and it will proxy the requests to the port 8888, where the Jupyter Notebook service will be running. And of course this is a reverse proxy, so the Nginx will also get us the responses from the server, from the Jupyter Notebook server running inside this Docker. And here there are the locations that we need for the Jupyter Notebook to run. So those are the HTTP requests, as well as a support for the WebSockets. Okay. So going back to our Docker file, we have to enable inside this Docker, we have to enable the Nginx configuration, then some more installs, and finally using pip we will install Jupyter Notebook. Okay, and we are making a directory for Jupyter Notebook configuration, and we use the configuration that is also available here at our repository. And what do we got here? We allow origin from all allow all origins. Okay, this necessary for our proxy to work, not going into details. This as well has to be set true. We allow root. This is usually used to run on port 80, our service on port 80, if we would like to play with it a bit. We set our IP, our URL at localhost. We don't want to open browser when the service starts, because it starts within the Docker, so we wouldn't see the browser anyway. And we use port 8888 for that. And those are also needed if we would like to use an HTTP as requests. Okay, so having copied the configuration inside the Docker, then we copy inside also the startup script, which is Nginx and Jupyter Sage. In this example, we give this script executive rights and we run it. This is pretty similar to using an entry point script. And what do we have here inside the script is just the commands to start the Nginx proxy server, get its status to the logs, and run the Jupyter Notebook server. So now let's go back here and let's see what we have to do in order to actually run this example. So we will copy this line here and we will pass it here and run it. So this command will use a Docker file in order to build the image, and the name of the image will be Nginx Jupyter Ubuntu. But first, let's see what are the images now that are on my system. There are some Python images and some Ubuntu as well. And let's see if there are any containers running. No, there aren't any. So now we can see what happens if I will run this command, and after a while we should see the result. Meanwhile, we can discuss the line for running the Docker image, because first we build it, it will be available, we will be able to see it in our Docker images, but the container will not be running yet. We have to run it using this command, and the arguments, the parameters here are that we will use port 80 inside the Docker, and from the outside we will be calling on the port 8080. So we use the port 80 inside the Docker because on this port the Nginx service will be listening to our requests. And we also set a name for this container, not only an image, because there is the image name, and we want our container to be named the same. Let's see how our script is going. We can see that we are on step 9, and we can actually see that those steps that we define here in the Docker file are being run one by one. Let's prepare this line here. Let's copy it. Okay, building is done. We will see what are the images now, and as we can see, the Nginx Jupyter Ubuntu image was successfully built. Let's check the containers. There are no containers running yet, but as soon as we will use this line, okay, so the container is up and running, and let's see here. We can see that our container is running at port is listening to the port 8080, and it redirects the request to the port 80 inside the Docker. Name of our container is the same as the name of the image. So now let's see what will happen if I will just try to get this. Okay, so I can see the Jupyter Notebook service that is running inside the Docker, and what I need now is the token in order to get inside. Okay, and we can see that the Jupyter Notebook service is running directly under the slash under the boot point, which is not the best idea actually from the security point of view, although for our very simple example this should do. So this way you can recreate the steps, the files that I share, and you can get to know how this whole stack, this whole setup works. So here we can also see that there are some outputs from the logs from the script that was run when the Docker image started. So we asked for the status of the Nginx service, and here it is. We got the information that it is running, and from this point those are the logs from the Jupyter Notebook server. So if I would try to create a new notebook, we can see that a new kernel is started, for example. Okay, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed this example, and goodbye for now.